Alright, so today we're going to be doing a 1v1 analysis of a game I played against kinggedert. This was a request from him. So, three major things we're going to go and touch on during this analysis. The first one is going to be kickoffs. Second one is going to be when to go and attack, when to go on the offensive, without compromising your positioning. Because I had a ton of mistakes on my part during this game that weren't necessarily taken advantage of. And the very last thing we're going to talk about is just how to go and know when to attack the ball. So we'll start this off from kinggedert's point of view. Alright, so we got our first kickoff here. So right here, I go and I win this one. Alright, so now the reason that I was able to go and win this kickoff is because my car was positioned more towards the middle compared to kinggedert, who was attacking more towards just the tip of the ball. So typically when you are going for your kickoffs, you want to be positioned almost directly towards the middle of the ball. That way when you make contact with it, you're getting your full car behind that ball instead of only getting the side, which would cause it to pinch out in a certain direction like kinggedert here does. So we'll go ahead and go back to his view. Alright. So one thing I've noticed a lot here is kinggedert, every time you seem to go and hit the ball, it looked like he just jumped at it. Now, part of keeping yourself in position during an attack means not always going and jumping or flipping at the ball. Sometimes it works best just to go and drive your car straight into the ball, because when you go and jump into it, typically you end up compromising your positioning. So now we have our second kickoff. Alright, now this one ends up going just kind of out towards the middle. So the reason for this is that when we made contact with the ball, first off, once again, kinggedert kind of went for the left side of the ball rather than straight towards the middle. And then on top of that, when he went for his challenge, it doesn't really look like he flipped it all. He just jumped straight up and hit it. And then on top of all of that, he also had a very, very, very low hit. Notice he's touching more towards the bottom of the ball rather towards the middle, compared to mine, which right around the same area. So we end up pinching the ball straight up, and it just goes slightly over to my side, just because he was slightly higher than I was during the initial touch. Alright, so right here when kinggedert saw that I was in front of the ball and needed to go and turn all the way around, this is when he should have attacked, and instead he gave me the chance to go and reposition myself. Again, this was a very poor game, but I somehow managed to go and get it past him. It's another chance where I probably should have been able to score, and I failed. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Now right here, he kind of jumped up to go and hit it, and by doing that, he gave up his positioning, and a better ones player would have been able to turn around and take advantage of him being out of position and unable to control the ball. Whereas if he would have just gotten under the ball and controlled it without jumping up and compromising his positioning, he would have been able to either start a dribble or at least attempt to go and keep the ball in front of him. He's going to be able to force a 50-50 if the other player were to go and come around and attack it. Whereas right now, he's very much at the mercy of what they do. Not necessarily bad that he went back. Because again, I don't do anything with it. So shot over me. Kind of sat here. Had to go and flap and hit this. Kind of does. But again, most ones players are going to be able to go and take advantage of him getting it back clear on it. They're going to be sitting in the middle just waiting for him to go mess up. So, another failed attack by me. Once again, puts himself way out of position. But again, I don't really do much, so it's okay. So, we're past him. Now again, right here, just jumps at it, compromises positioning, takes a little bit of recoil. Where again, if he would have just driven his car into the ball and kind of kept that in front of him, he could have started an attack. So we've got our third kickoff. So right here, he just jumps straight up. Not completely screwed. He does attack me and keep me from scoring a goal. But in general, I would say to never, ever, ever just sit during the kickoff. Because most players are going to go and read that and just dribble it straight up and shoot. Whereas if you drive up like you're going to go and take it, and then go move back, they're going to go and think you were going for the kickoff, shoot it in whatever direction it was going to go. And then you can go and safely take it and make your move. So again, put himself way out of position. And I'm able to just put it right in. So we got our fourth kickoff right here. Alright, so when we made contact one, we were lined up pretty well. On top of that, vertically, right around the same. What would have decided who won this kickoff is if one of us had jumped up higher and made contact with more towards the middle of the ball. Instead, just kind of shoots out towards the middle. So again, most ones players are going to go and make an attack right there on the goal. I failed to. So, a lot of chaos right here. The failed fake of a challenge, fake at a challenge by me, and I got scored on for it. So again, once again, he just sits in goal and doesn't end up saving it at all, leaving him at my mercy, and I easily catch my rebound and pop the ball right into the goal. So we got kickoff number 6. So this time I failed. I, for some reason, didn't go for this kickoff. Caught it, saved myself. So, this is opportunity to go and challenge me. Ideally, for him to go and get a good challenge on me, he would have wanted to go and go for me right as I was getting the ball on my head, which would have made it very difficult for me to control where the ball was going to go. Alright, so this would be his chance. Ideally right here, rather than going for the wall, he would have wanted to go and start a dribble and aim for a flick to get power on it. Instead, he goes up the wall, puts himself out of position, and gives up possession to me. Gets a good 50-50 and takes it back. Right here, again, he just jumps at it. Could have just driven it right into the corner and taken control. Right here, he climbed on the wall and put himself out of position again. Unless you know for certain that when you go for the wall shot, you're going to go and make it, you should never really go for it. You always want to play it safe for once. And then right here again, he doesn't go for the kickoff and gets burned by it. I dribble it up, put it over him. So we got kickoff number 9 right here. Alright, so again, right here, if we look at it, I end up making contact right here towards the middle, whereas he just catches the side on it, and I just win the kickoff, mostly. Kind of goes over to the side, but in general, I got most of it. Oops. Kind of jumps up, gives up his positioning. So right there, it looked like he was kind of deciding whether he wanted to go for the boost of the ball. And if you got to make that decision and you're right there on the ball, looks like you're going to go and get there before the other person does, just go for the ball. Wait till you are in a safe spot before you try to go for boost. Alright, so how do I mess this one up? So right here, flick. Tried to go for another flick, but he put it over me. In reality, since I was backwards and couldn't get a good challenge, I should have retreated straight back to goal to prevent that one. So we got our 10th kickoff. Alright, so again, not too bad a kickoff. We both made contact right around the same height. Both kind of hit it towards the middle. So again, shoots out towards the middle. Now the issue right here is that when he was going towards the ball, he decided to go for that boost instead of catching the ball and dribbling it off to a safer area, which would have given me a free shot, resulting in almost another goal by me. Alright, and that's kind of all it is. So key things to go and take from this analysis. One, with your kickoffs, always try to go and make contact straight on with the ball. There should be a perfect line between you and the other player going directly towards the middle of the ball. If you are farther away from that line, or that line doesn't intersect directly through the middle of the ball, more than likely someone messed up and it's going to shoot towards whoever messed up side. And then two, when you are going for your attack, try not to always go and jump at the ball. There are plenty of times when just catching the ball with the hood of your car or just hitting the ball without jumping or flipping at it is going to go and give you better control of the car, better control of the ball, and also, you know, keep everything within your control. You'll avoid giving the ball to your opponent or even just setting them up for a goal. And then very last is just going to be knowing when to attack. So if you ever see your opponent get in front of the ball, know that 9 times out of 10 you're going to be able to go and challenge them and get a safe challenge on the ball. Now also, whenever you're backwards or see your opponent backwards, 9 times out of 10, they're going to go and get a bad 50-50 on it. So that's going to be your chance to go and challenge the ball and kind of press up. Very last, on your kickoffs, you should always go and look like you're going to go for the ball at least. You never want to sit just right there, because most skilled ones players are going to be able to go and read that. A lot of people, when they go for their kickoff, they're going to go and start going full speed for it, but they're kind of looking back. They want to see where that other person is. That way they can kind of go and judge where they're going to make contact on that ball in order for them to either stall the ball or win the kickoff. So if they see you right there, 9 times out of 10, they're going to slow down, start their dribble, and be able to just put it right over you. So just avoid that. And then also, you know, when you're going for your kickoffs, the higher you get on the ball, the better. Always try to go and make contact directly at the middle. And always try to go and get a flip on your 50-50s. Those kind of things are going to go and make it easier for you to go and win them. And make it more likely that you win your kickoffs and also 50-50s. Besides that though, there were just a lot of whiffs. Whiffs on my part. whistle on their part as well. So if you see someone whip on the ball, always know, hey, that's my chance. Time to go and attack. That way you can get a goal or put yourself in a good position to make a goal. Or even just putting your opponent in a position that forces a bad move from them and results in a good pass right to you. Or, pressures them into putting the ball right there in the middle of their side. Or just putting the ball far away from them, giving it to you. But that's about it.